This meeting is being recorded.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Carolyn Hefner, and if you are new here, welcome. I am a Facebook and Instagram ads expert. I have been running ads for the last 12 plus years and around 6 years in the med spa and medical weight loss niche. And today I am going to talk about a topic that I have noticed is a very hot topic. And it's interesting because I feel like I've covered this topic ad nauseum, like quite a few times on my YouTube account. But what's one more, right? What's one more time if it's going to help someone, literally anyone, with their ads in their med spa or medical weight loss practice? So, if you don't know me, just a little about me. I am a mom of four, soon to be five in a couple weeks. I am a homeschooler, but I also own an ad agency, and I've owned this ad agency since my first baby was born. I help med spas and medical weight loss practices grow their businesses in a very different way than most agencies do, because all of our campaigns are built on trust. They're not built on flash sales. They're not built on quick like gimmicks. They're not built on discounting your services and bringing leads in that you'll never see again. They're not built on like Groupon deals. It is all based on trust, and it's based on the cast of characters and the team that you have on your end, and creating content around this strategy, and using the content you already have, leveraging the content you already have to get people booking with you. And the biggest thing is just to connect, to build connection, authority, and trust. Those are the three pillars that we base everything off of. And the best part about this strategy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this today, is that it doesn't ever go out of style. It's not like a trending thing. In marketing, relationships are always going to be number one. Trust is always going to be number one, right? You're not going to book with somebody that you don't necessarily trust or relate to, right? So that's what this ad strategy is built on. Normally with organic, it might take someone from the point of finding you to the point of booking, because they only see your posts when they log on, like every couple weeks, every couple months, maybe every couple days at first. It might take them about 6 months to book. With this ad strategy, that it truncates that time because you're staying top of mind. It's really built heavily on retargeting and staying top of mind on your news feed. So that way it takes more like 3 weeks to get them to book from finding you to booking. So the topic of this video is really going to be, how do I actually get patients from Facebook and Instagram ads into my med spa? And then also on the other end of that, because it is so important, how do I retain patients with my Facebook and Instagram ads? So I'm not only bringing new people in, but I'm also staying top of mind so that my competitor down the road isn't the one that's, drawing them in with flash sales and different things like that, right? The goal is always to bring in a premium patient. So a patient that understands the value that you have to offer, and that trusts you, right? So they're going to come back time and time again. That is the goal. That's the dream patient, right? A premium patient who is going to invest in their weight loss, invest in the way they look, and then invest in you and invest in your services. And they just are a super fan, and they're going to tell everybody about you. That's the goal, is to draw in that type of patient. Now, if you are looking for a quick patient, somebody who just comes in quick and gets their Botox and leaves, okay, that's fine too, but that's not typically who I work with. I work with luxury med spas and medical weight loss clinics who want to draw in these premium patients who understand the value of their health and their confidence in the way that they look, and they want to return, and they again trust you as the authority in the space, and they wouldn't dream of going anywhere else. So today I want to answer some questions, because I have gotten a couple questions on Instagram. And if you're not following me over there, go ahead and give me a follow. I have a new account. It's Bella Social Marketing. That's an account that's like specifically for my business and my team. And then I also have a personal account, which is Carolyn Grace Hefner, which is the account I've had forever. And that's more like my homeschool stuff, and my motherhood stuff. So whichever category you fall into, feel free to give me a follow on either. So the first thing is, how do I actually get patients from MedSpa, from my Facebook and Instagram ads into my MedSpa? Okay. I know it might seem straightforward to just like launch an ad with a leads objective or a sales objective or a booking objective, and then like see the leads come in, but it's not that straightforward. And the reason I say that is because sure, you can launch an ad to your like demographic, your local demographic, and hope and pray that somebody will see it and come in. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a good patient. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to retain them. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to bring them in without some sort of discount or urgency or offer. And while I'm a big fan of urgencies and adding urgency to ads and adding offers to ads, I don't think it's necessary, especially if you're a luxury clinic that wants to keep your branding luxury, right? Because luxury providers don't discount, right? You don't see like Chanel and Gucci discounting, right? Because they are a name brand. They're not going to discount their services. So I want to show you guys my our proven strategy, and I'll share a little bit. I'm just going to share my screen here. I'm going to share a little bit about us. Let me see if I can see anything here. Okay, so this is us, the Bella Social Marketing team. I actually have another member that I have to add to this. We just hired another member. She's another video editor and copywriter. It's actually my sister. She just quit her 9 to 5 to come work with me, which is amazing and so exciting. But we have Natalie, tech expert and strategy expert. I work with all of my clients. I like interface with all my clients. I work on the strategy and tech as well and help Natalie launch all the ads. And then we have Rachel, who is our designer and video editor, and Giovanna, who does the copywriting. So this is our boutique ad agency. We are completely women-led. We are a very tight-knit team of ad specialists. And we only take on certain types of clients. So like we're very picky about who we take on. So if you think that you want to work with us, by all means, reach out and we'll let you know if you're ready for ads, because I truly believe that if you are not ready for ads, I will let you know, and I'm not going to run your ads for you if you're not ready, right? You have to be at a point where you're scaling. So you have a proven offer, you have proven offers, you've brought in people organically, you have the foundation set up, and then you're ready to scale. Because if you're not ready for that, then again, we're not going to take you on as a client because I just don't think you're ready. And I personally have a problem with wasting people's money that aren't ready for ads. Okay. I'm only going to run your ads if I think that you're going to be profitable with them. So I like to go through like understanding the ROI. First, this is obviously dependent. This is just an example. This is different for everybody, but let's just say the cost to acquire a new patient is anywhere from around $30 to $100, right? So that's your lead cost typically in this niche. It can be lower, it can be higher. It just depends on your offer. It depends on the service you're offering, right? Like if you're offering a Morpheus, it's probably going to be higher than if you're offering a Botox service. So again, depends on the services you're offering. And the average revenue per patient is, let's say, around $530. Again, going to be different for everybody. If it's Botox, it might be a little bit lower, might be a little bit higher. If it's like Morpheus or a CO2 or something like that, it's going to be higher, okay? Now imagine our ads bring you 10 new patients per week. So that's 30 times 10 is $300 ad spend, so $300 per week. And then $530, which is the average revenue per patient, times 10 is $5,300 in revenue. Now, obviously, you would take out that $300 ad spend. The profit would be $5,000 more a week that you're making with Facebook and Instagram ads. So an additional potential $20,000 a month. Obviously, again, that revenue would be more if you have a higher ticket service, and it would be potentially less if you have a lower ticket service. It just depends on your services, your offerings, all of that. Okay. So now I really want to talk about the funnel, because this is where most people are like, well, how do I attract how do I get clients for my Facebook and Instagram ads? I've tried it before. It doesn't work. I've hired agencies before. They didn't work. All they told me was to discount my services. It brought in all these crappy patients. I have all these crappy leads on my EMR, blah, blah, blah. This is the funnel that prevents that issue. Okay. I want your patients to trust you so much that when they do book with you, they're genuinely excited about the full aesthetic and wellness transformation that you offer. Okay. That's why these ads that we have set up for our clients don't just sell, they build anticipation, credibility, and trust every step of the way, so that by the time that they come in and book with you, and this is the exact words from one of my clients, Dr. Erica, who runs a medical weight loss practice in Tampa. She just opened her second location. She literally said she doesn't have to sell anymore. When she first started, she hated when people would come in and she felt like she had to like convince people to work with her. Now, because the ads do such a good job at building trust and building social proof and showing her results and showing her reviews and all of these things, when people come in, they slam their credit card down on her desk and they're like, I'm ready. Where do I start? Okay. That's what I want for you with these ads. That is my goal for every single one of my clients when they sign with me, is that they don't have to sound like a used car salesman when people come in and they're questioning the services and questioning the offerings. No, they can come in, people come in, you go in, you work your magic, you tell them the process, you tell them why you're different, and they sign with you. They're excited. They don't even need to hear anything else. Okay. Again, another big piece of this proven ad strategy is it will keep you top of mind. So, when you go on Instagram and you're in a doom scroll and you're seeing things like so quickly, like you're scrolling every 30 seconds or every 45 seconds, you're forgetting, like you'll see something, you're like, oh, I want to like buy that, or I want to book there. And then within 20 seconds, you forget, right? The goal of these ads is to keep your practice top of mind so that even if they do scroll away, they're coming back to you when they open their Instagram app again. So they literally cannot forget to book because you're always there. Once they've interacted with the first ad, you're going to be in their feed for 60 days or 70 days. You're going to be popping up with a new piece of content in their feed for 60 to 70 days. Okay. That's literally what we call the nurture sequence. And again, I always go back to this. This is different than every other ad strategy that every other agency runs because it is not based on these like trends and quick discounts and flash sales and drawing in as many patients as possible and then never seeing them again. Okay. This is built on the most foundational thing that marketing is built on, which is trust. Okay. It is built on connection. So creating connection between you and the patient, building authority, showing that you are the expert and why, like what is your unique position? Why should someone come to you? And that's like one of the biggest questions that we ask when you first work with us is what's your unique positioning? What makes you different? Why would someone come to you over anybody else in the space? Okay. And then on trust. Okay. Again, we're going to be showing them pieces of content with before and afters in a specific way because we don't advise doing before and afters side by side because Meta doesn't like that. You have to follow the rules. With video before and afters, with social proof, with user generated content, like leveraging again the content that you already have and putting it in a sales funnel, putting it in this funnel so that by the time they find you from your first ad to the time they're booking with you, they are already ready. They already trust you. They already have connection with you and they feel like they're so excited for their appointment. Okay. This is what it looks like. The first piece, of course, is attract. So we put out video ads at the top of the funnel, so to a cold audience in your local area, and we draw people in. Okay, we tell them who you are, what you do, what services you offer. Again, why you're unique, why they should come to you over anyone else. Then once they interact with this first video, and this is going to be a combination, it's going to be cold audiences and warm audiences because we want your warm audiences targeted as well, because if we're not targeting them, then we're leaving money on the table. Those are people that are most likely to convert, are the people that already follow you, already know you, already probably like you. Maybe they already trust you, right? We just want to stay top of mind at that point. So this is cold and warm. Then every couple days, we're going to hit them with a new ad. Okay. We're going to hit them with an ad that educates, right? Maybe you're talking about, an Nefertiti lift. Maybe you're talking about Botox education and how you inject differently. Maybe they're talking about, your story, how you ended up, opening the practice because you started medical weight loss and you realized this was life-changing and you wanted to help as many other people as possible experience the life change that you have. Okay. Education, that also blends with connection as well. Every piece of content really does create connection, authority, and trust that we choose. We are very picky about the pieces of content that we put into the sales funnel. Repertoire. So that's again like social proof. Where can we use your clients' words, your clients' testimonials if you have videos, your user-generated content? We're putting that into your funnel. And then moving them down to the point where they're considering booking with you. What else do they need to hear? We're adding that in there. So what Q&As can you offer? What And we give you all of this. We have like a whole document, a video vault document that goes through every single piece of content that you would film if you don't already have it on your page to build the connection, authority, and trust that we're talking about here. And then finally, at the bottom of the funnel, we're hitting them with a final ask. Okay, so this is a very truncated example, but this happens over the course of like 60 to 70 days. From the point where we are tracking them to the point where they're purchasing, it is a 60, 70-day window. This is how you bring in patients with Facebook and Instagram ads. Okay. It doesn't take 60 to 70 days, but we're consistently on top of mind. So let's say that someone sees your first video and they book within 10 to 20 days of seeing this first video. That's fine. We're going to continue to target them over the course of the next 30 to 70 days because we want them to come back, right? We want them to tell their friends. We want to stay top of mind. And we're doing that with different pieces of content. So they're not getting sick of seeing you because we're always putting different pieces of content in front of them. And we're always changing up the funnel as well. We're looking for new videos. We're looking at your current videos that you're posting. We're seeing where we can like put new videos in and things like that. Okay. So these are all pieces of the funnel that bring in leads, that bring in leads and retain patients. Okay. Now I want to break down how it works again, just like really quickly. You get people to watch your video. We build trust with a series of videos, and then with the final ask, we're basically adding some level of urgency here. So we can do that by, book your free consultation now, or get $50 towards your deal when you book now. Like we can do like some things like that. But I also have other clients who don't do any sort of like gimmicky free consultation. I have one client who's a luxury service provider. She does PRP, HRT, medical weight loss, aesthetic, like her entire aesthetic suite. She does not run any sales. She has been fully booked since October when she hired us last year, and she has never run a sale ever. And she just draws people in by saying book, and she has a $200 consultation fee on top of it, and she's been booked out ever since. So this is just a couple examples of an introductory video. If you guys want to see this deck, I'm happy to like share it in the link below this video. And then this is the nurture sequence, what it looks like, and this is the bottom of funnel offer ad. So again, I have some clients who like to do sales, and I have some clients who just like to do a free consultation. I have other clients that don't like to do anything. And then of course, again, if you want to see my clients' results, I've got tons of video testimonials. I've got a case study on here that I'm happy to share with you guys. But I also just wanted to go through this because again, I've had a lot of people saying to me, how do I land clients? How do I get patients with Facebook and Instagram ads? So this is literally how you do it. A couple other questions that I've been getting, and also I was sourcing ChatGPT and asking like, okay, what are the most common questions? Why am I getting leads but no bookings? So this goes back to, again, like the funnel. If you set up one ad and you just have people filling out your forms, or you have people like going to your website, or have people like DMing you, but then there's no bookings, you have to check your sales strategy, your sales process holistically. Okay. And I say this all the time. I said this in a reel yesterday. You can have the best metrics, like pristine metrics in your ads manager. Everything looks healthy. Everything looks good. So that means your ads are working well, but nobody booking. What's the problem? It's on the back end, right? So you need to check, what is your sales process? What is your sales strategy? Who's fielding calls? Who's fielding DMs? Who's fielding those leads? How are they following up? How quickly are they following up? You need to look at everything holistically, not in a silo. So you can have, again, like the best analytics, the best metrics, but if it's not converting to bookings, there's something going on in the back end. Okay. And it also could be your website. Maybe your website isn't converting. Maybe there's too much of a lag time. It's over 3 seconds. Maybe the embedded page isn't loading. Maybe your CRM system, how they book, isn't loading on the page. You've got to look at all of this and test all of this before you even launch ads. Okay. So if you're getting leads, but you're not getting bookings, this goes back to, is it a leads problem? Probably not. Is it a conversion and nurture problem? Probably. So maybe they, on a whim, filled out a form, but then they're not following up. You haven't provided trust yet. You haven't nurtured them yet. So important. How many leads should I expect per day? This is a question I get all the time. It depends on your budget. So heavily, it depends on your budget. And it also depends on the services you're offering, right? A medical weight loss service is different than an aesthetic suite service. Okay. You're going to pay a different cost per lead for PDO threads than you're going to pay for Botox, right? Botox tends to be a cheaper lead cost because people already know what Botox is. There's no stigma around it versus something like PDO threads. That's a higher ask. It's a more expensive offer. You're going to pay more per lead. You're going to pay more per day if you're marketing that offer actively. Okay. For our clients and for this funnel, I say I like a minimum of $1,800, but I really actually like a minimum now of $2,000 for that full funnel because it gives us more than enough to attract, nurture, and convert. And $2,000 a month, who cares? Like that's like a drop in the bucket. That is one patient versus how much you have the potential to make an ROI in this space, right? Because the cost of services is high. So how many leads should you expect per day? Again, depends. Like I have a medical weight loss clinic. They bring about 5 to 10 leads in per day. And it's a telehealth clinic specifically. I have another client. Everything we do for her is through DM because she has an entire team of people that fields her DMs and books people through DM. And I would say she probably gets 10 to 20 leads per day, but she's spending around 3,500 to 4,500 a month on ads. Okay. And that's in addition to our services. So it just depends on your cost. Again, this is one of those variables that you think you're asking a straightforward question, but you're not really because there's a ton of variables that go into it. Okay. Are Facebook ads even worth it for MedSpas anymore? Yes, they are. Facebook and Instagram ads are always going to be worth it for MedSpas because, and I say this with the utmost passion I possibly can, these are extremely visual platforms. You have an extremely visual industry, right? Before and afters, social proof, showing transformation, showing your progress, connecting. You're going to have an easier time converting patients through Facebook and Instagram than you will through Google Ads. Google Ads, anybody can run ads on Google, right? It's hard to build trust on Google. It's very easy to build trust when you're sitting here and you're talking to the camera and you're saying, here's why you should choose me, right? Here's why you should come work with us. Here's why our 2,000 patients trust our team with their aesthetics needs, right? It is so much easier to make a connection when you're looking at a camera than it is through keywords, okay? I will, this is a hill I will die on, okay? Facebook and Instagram ads are worth it for med spas, but you have to run them the right way. You have to run them with the right agency owner, okay? And you can run them in-house. I offer that as well, consultation calls where I can show you how to set them up, but you're not going to get the full strategy if you're running them in-house because we can't like manage the funnel. Like we can't teach your team to manage the funnel because there's so many nuances. And again, we have like a combined experience of like 20 years in ads management between Natalie and myself. There's just so many nuances that you would need like an agency on retainer to make sure that you're bringing in that consistent ROI. 2 more questions, and then I am wrapping this up because I know we're going a little bit long. Why are my leads low quality? Again, this goes back to so many different variables, but if you're finding that your leads are low quality, you need to look at your targeting. Okay. Are you using Advantage Plus audiences? Are you using Facebook's AI? Don't do it. Okay. If you're targeting a local demographic area, I do not recommend using Facebook's AI because it's going to show your ads to people outside the area. And you're going to get people that'll see your ads and sign up, clogging up your EMR, and they're never going to book with you. They're never going to travel to see you. Okay. If you're having low quality leads come in, especially if you're running DM campaigns or lead campaigns, again, you need to look at, does your creative call out the specific area that you're located in? Does it call out the specific pain points that your clients are struggling with? Does it show the transformation that your clients are going through? Does it build authority, connection, and trust? All of those pieces are so important between your creative and your ad copy. And then of course, not using Meta's AI. I do not recommend using Advantage Plus audiences in this niche specifically. I can't speak for any other niche, but I'm talking about this niche. Do not use it. Make sure all those settings are turned off. And I have another video on my page if you want to see how to turn those off and how to set up your ads correctly. And I'll link it below. Finally, how do I turn leads into paying patients? The final question just goes back to the original funnel. Okay. You have to build trust. It goes back to the most basic foundational rule in marketing. If you do not build trust in the relationship you have with your patients, you're never going to turn a lead into a paying patient, or for that matter, a return patient. Because yeah, you could turn leads into paying patients all day long, but you're never going to see them again after one appointment. Because let's say you offer a flash sale. Sure, they'll come in for the flash sale, but they're not going to come back. Okay, low quality leads and all that. Okay, if you have any questions about this, leave it in the comments below. I'm going to leave a bunch of links in the comments for you guys. As always, hit subscribe if you are new here. If you haven't hit subscribe yet. And if you have questions, feel free, like I said, to leave it in the comments, or you can even DM me. If you're questioning, like, am I ready for ads? Am I ready for an agency? Send me a DM. I can share if I think you're ready. And then also I have a form that you can fill out that I will, again, leave in the comments below, or in the show notes, and you can take a look and you can fill that form out if you think you're ready. Okay, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you on the YouTube drop I have next week.